Hello and welcome to CBA News, coming to you from Hargeysa, Somaliland. My name is Abdillahi Hassan and you are watching the news in brief. Somaliland's President Musa Bihi Abdi and the opposition parties Wadani and Uid have reached a new agreement on holding local and parliamentary elections this year. The agreement is once again brokered by the European envoy to Somalia, Ambassador Nicolas Berlanga Martinez. President Bihi and the opposition have settled the contested issue of the party that will oversee the election. For the first time, the sitting National Elections Commission will delegate most of its duties on conducting the election to a new body called the Technical Election Management Unit. This body will be composed of the former Electoral Commission plus 3 non-voting members appointed by Somaliland's international partners. The current National Elections Commission will be completed by the opposition parties nominated 2 members. It will retain the power of formalizing the work of the technical unit, such as declaring the results of the election, making appointments, etc. Another implied output of the agreement is that President Bihi will quietly walk out of the announcement regarding the registration of new political parties 2 years ahead of schedule. Mohammed Kahin Ahmed, the Interior Minister and the Deputy Chairman of Kulmiya Party, said afterwards that the accord was reached in good faith. On his part, Faisal Al-Waraba, the leader of the party, said the agreement is now a new chapter for Somaliland. He apologized to the people of Somaliland for the protracted deadlock over the election. More than 100 IMF members have pledged to provide $334 million in debt relief for Somalia, then unlock fresh funds to help the country, the International Monetary Fund announced on Wednesday. Facing a debt load that measured $5.3 billion at the end of 2018, the relief will be provided under a special program to help the world's poorest nations. First, by allowing the government to clear its arrears with the IMF. With financing pledged, Somalia is one step closer to the final approval, which will significantly reduce Somalia's total debt and enable her to access new resources to jumpstart growth and begin reducing poverty. IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva said in a statement. The executive bodies of 2 Washington-based lenders, the IMF and World Bank, earlier this month approved the East African nation's eligibility under the Enhanced Heavily Indebted Poor Countries HIPC initiative. To win final approval, the country must continue to have satisfactory performance under an IMF monitored economic program, and pay arrears to multilateral creditors or agree to a strategy to clear them. The World Bank said at the time it expected to have an operation to clear Somalia's arrears by the end of this month. A final decision to release the funds could be made by the end of March. To date, debt relief packages under the HIPC initiative have been approved for 36 countries, including 30 in Africa. According to World Bank criteria, Somalia is one of the poorest countries on the planet, with a GDP per capita of less than 995 per year. The African Development Bank and African Development Fund approved a framework for $122 million to clear Somalia's arrears. This move paves the way for the bank group to fully re-engage with Somalia and opening opportunities for enhanced financing for the country. In a statement, President of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, said the bank plan is to immediately resume normal cooperation with the federal government of Somalia as soon as it clears its arrears to the bank group. According to the President, the additional financial resources will be provided to support ongoing and new reforms necessary for Somalia to reach completion point under the Enhanced Heavily Indebted Poor Countries initiative. Finance Minister of Somalia Abdirahman Beyle said the African Development Bank has accompanied Somalia through the difficult reforms which can only make Somalia a better place for all Somalis. Mr. Beyle said that Somalia is committed to continuing on reforms and, more importantly, to improving government's accountability to the people. Saudi Arabia has temporarily suspended entry for individuals seeking to perform Umrah pilgrimage in Mecca or visiting the Prophet's mosque in Medina, as well as tourists traveling from countries where the coronavirus poses a risk as determined by the kingdom. Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a statement on Twitter that new precautions are based on the recommendations of the competent health authorities to apply the highest precautionary standards and take proactive preventive measures to prevent the emergence of the coronavirus in the kingdom. These measures came at a time when there has been a sharp increase in the number of cases reported in the Middle East, where most of the individuals infected had traveled from Iran, which has a reported death toll standing at 19. The highest death is outside China. Saudi Arabia's Minister of Health, Tawfiq al-Rabi'a, confirmed on Wednesday that there were no coronavirus cases determined in the kingdom so far. Saudi Arabia is also suspending the use of the national identity card by Saudi nationals and citizens of the Gulf Cooperation Council states to travel to and from the kingdom. This allows the authorities at entry points to verify which countries visitors came before their arrival to the kingdom and apply health precautions to deal with those coming from those countries. The ministry said that these procedures are temporary and are subject to continuous evaluation by the authorities. Banaadir Governor and Mogadishu Mayor Umar Mahmoud Mohammed finished on Wednesday presided over the opening ceremony of a new library in the capital, which has been named after his immediate predecessor, Engineer Abdirahman Umar Usman Yariso, who was killed in a terrorist attack in his office in 2019. The new Engineer Yariso Library was set up in the headquarters of the Banaadir Youth Organization to enable the youth to have access to books with a view to enhancing reading culture among the society. Speaking at the event, Mayor Umar Filish expressed delight over the launch of the new library and encouraged the youth in attendance to invite their peers to subscribe at the new library and read books. Mr. Phillips said it is time for the youth to unite against the peace elements and focus on rebuilding their country. Thank you for watching us. That was our news in brief. For more detailed news coverage, stay tuned for our full news bulletin coming to you later tonight.